Hi, Michael.
Hello.
So, it's your first trip to Vancouver.
It is.
Yeah. Can you tell us your basic history with RP?
Okay. Well, I've always, my entire life, as far as I've known, I've been night blind. I've always had really good vision, but until I was in my mid to late 40s, as a pilot, I started hitting things, and people would stick their hands out to shake my hand, and I didn't notice it. And I knew something was wrong, so I started talking to the eye doctor. Finally, after the second eye doctor, after we had moved to Colorado, the eye doctor there said, I think you have RP, so she sent me to a specialist, and I got diagnosed then. And at that time, was probably I'd had the symptoms for probably about 6 years before I got diagnosed, and that was about 6 years ago, almost 6 years ago, when I got diagnosed by 5 years, and that's just a brief history. And then now it's been so total time that I've noticed any kind of issues with it's been about 11 years.
What kind of issues you encounter in your daily life?
Hitting things, running into coffee tables, lamps, dishwasher, things like that. Anything down below my periphery there. I have had times before didn't see things off to the right when you get in a closed-in area like a store with several pedestrian people walking around, whatever, walking down the street. When you get close, when they're far away, I have no problem. My eyes can compensate. But when I get up close, I have a hard time picking people, kids especially down on the lower end, picking them up as they're walking by. So I'm having to stop, sudden because I didn't see them. That's probably the common thing that I've done, other than hitting things that I've been hitting things off and on for 8 years, something like that, 10 years, something like that I've been hitting things. But that's the general.
That's the main challenge.
Yes.
Okay. So, after the last 10 days treatment, and what kind of difference have you seen?
On the periphery part, it's changed from my overall blind spot has changed. I'm actually seeing here, which when we first started testing, I didn't see all the way 180 out almost, but now I'm seeing almost 180 out. And I had a huge blind spots on both sides between my center vision. Was I think it was like 200 centimeters or so, and then now that whole area here up to about I don't know, 25, 30 centimeters, 25 on each side. One side's a little bigger, so one side's like 20 and the other one's like 30. There's a spot there, but they've shrank from this size on each side to like this size on each side of my periphery.
Yeah, like 75% of blind spots has gone
Yeah.
from the test.
Yeah, and then actually the other night, we were driving home a couple of nights ago. It was dark. We were up one of the streets up here making a left turn, and the traffic was stopped, and we were waiting for the cars to come through. And there was a pedestrian who shouldn't have been in the crosswalk, but they were walking last minute to cross the street, and she started pulling forward, and out of my periphery on my left side, I saw her. And I said, hey, there's someone in the crosswalk. And she actually didn't see the person in the crosswalk there. So she stopped, and then let her cross. But that was pretty surprising that I saw something in the crosswalk that, or periphery-wise too, that she didn't see. So I was pretty happy with that. That was a big
Dark?
check. It was dark.
It was dark.
Evening,
It was
raining.
Raining.
Oh, that's the
Yep.
worst
Oh,
visibility.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, so I was very surprised. She was very surprised, And then the other things I've noticed too is around the room or walking around or whatever, there are areas now that I can see better. Before, I've always tried to scan, move my head, scan. That helped quite a bit. But sometimes you forget if you're not thinking about it. It's something you have to have in your mind. And I've noticed now that even without scanning, I'm seeing more in my periphery, much more than I did before. The lower side is still hadn't cleared up that much, but on the sides, and especially farther out. I mean, I'm seeing much, much better. Noticing a lot more things than I did before. So that's very positive. Very positive.
Okay, let's ask your wife. So, engineer, what's your witness about Michael's?
No, I've seen
Change.
I've seen a change over the last couple of weeks.
Mhm.
You know, I'm as you mentioned, I'm very analytical, and coming in, I was a little skeptical
Yeah.
on how can acupuncture and herbs and that type of treatment actually, Eastern medicine actually
Yeah.
have some type of results, and I've been proven wrong. I'm
Mm.
truly a believer now on just the difference I've seen in him, and the big telltale, as he mentioned, was him seeing that individual on the crosswalk, which would never happen. In the last couple of years, it's
Yeah.
always me having to scan everything, not just traffic coming, but pedestrians everywhere. So, and just walking around, he can, when I'm at the side of him, walking side by side, he can see some of the movements that I do, and so I have seen a difference,
Yeah.
a pretty
So
big difference.
you believe it's true now?
I do believe it's true.
Wonderful.
Took a little bit, but
Yeah, I know it's
But I
hard
do.
to believe. It's too good to be true. That's why.
Yeah.
Michael, what's your profession before? Pilot?
Pilot. Yeah.
Yeah, pilot. One pilot, one engineer. Your testimonial very, very important for us. You're all very responsible people.
Yeah.
Pilot, you're responsible for a big asset there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
So, you do comment about her herbal medicine. What do you feel after taking the herbal medicine, the teas? Did you mention the herbal medicine? You feel the difference after drinking the tea?
Actually, it's in some of the cases. I mean, when we tested out here, usually it was in the afternoon when I did the herbal medicine. I noticed movement, from the herbal medicine sometimes as big or as much as I did with the acupuncture. There was a couple
Yeah.
of times that I had some pretty big jumps, and I think it was mostly this week
Yeah.
when we were doing in the afternoon when I'd already tested out from the acupuncture, and I
Yeah.
took some tea later in the day, and the lines were still shrinking or moving after the teas as well. I was pretty amazed at that. I thought that was just something to keep you healthy, but actually it was moving the lines. Sometimes they're moving an inch or two or three from after just drinking a tea.
Yeah, yeah, it is. That's we use the herbs and acupuncture to help. The herbs are doing wonders for the patients. Yeah, indeed. So thank you both. Congratulations.
thank you.
You.